without sight. Connect, collaborate, and create.
Hello, my name is Jay, and I'm Project Manager at Sound Without Sight. Sound Without Sight is a community-driven online hub that connects blind and partially sighted musicians and industry professionals to each other and to resources, opportunities and support. Having only launched in May 2023, we're still a very young project, but I'm very proud of what we've achieved so far, including delivering a 10-month internship programme working with 2 young visually impaired musicians, publishing over 140 articles across our featured content blog, Knowledge Hub and News and Opportunities board, and running 8 monthly meetup events. We've also started a podcast and a weekly newsletter that now has over 350 subscribers. A large part of our progress and momentum can be attributed to our 2 music industry engagement interns, Sarah and Zenny, who we worked with from October 2023 to July this year. Sarah and Zenny contributed to a wide range of activities throughout their time at Sound Without Sight, including representing the project at music events across the UK, creating web content and promoting content made by others, and generally helping to shape the project. Here are some thoughts from Zenny and then Sarah.
I really enjoyed the internship. I have so many good things to say about the internship and Sound Without Sight in general.
Thursday and Friday became my favourite days of the week.
It was kind of my first official job besides voiceover and stuff, and I think I learnt so much and I learnt so many skills. I like the fact that I've learnt skills that aren't even specifically related to music as well, like event organisation or project management. The internship was just a really good opportunity to learn and to connect with other like-minded musicians and creatives, and also I learnt so much about music and audio engineering and audio editing and stuff like that. The 3 of us love helping people, and we all have different talents and different kind of skills that we brought to the internship. So those passions put together make us a really strong team, and I think that really showed through all the work we've done for Sound Without Sight.
Just to give an overview of our resources, we want to become the one front door for information related to music, sound and visual accessibility. Our Knowledge Hub collates useful information from around the sector in a single searchable resource and allows users to contribute to fill in the gaps. Any registered member can upload resources to the hub, which are then verified by our editorial team. We also create and commission featured content in response to suggestions and requests from our community members. Our content can be broadly categorised into 5 focus areas. Firstly, audio production and technology, whether that's music or podcasting or any other kind of audio work. Accessible notation, including information on formats such as Braille music and modified stave notation. Tips for accessing performance and musical instruments. Information about accessing music culture, industry opportunities and wellbeing support. And finally, examples of inclusive design within music making and audio tools. Here are some thoughts from Sarah and Zenny about our content.
I found a lot more accessible guitar resources, which meant that I didn't always have to go to my guitar tutor, which felt good because I'm kind of in rival with my brother, who he's a better guitarist than me, but I don't like admitting that out loud. But in my head, I'm yeah, but you're cheating because you're watching YouTube videos all the time. So I think finding ways to do things myself was really interesting. I think as well, a lot of VI people that are in mainstream circles, if they want to ask about Braille music, they can't ask anyone because they're not going to know. If there's a student in high school or primary or wherever, they want to learn music Braille, I think that's where GTVIs and TAs get a bit stuck. How do we make this happen if they're not musical?
The stuff and knowledge that we need to be able to access music and audio engineering and all the other creative stuff isn't easy to find. You can't just Google search it and find it. Sound Without Sight's really progressed to becoming that hub for people, to go to when they're looking for that information or those tools and resources.
One of Sarah and Zenny's key legacies is how they worked with us to kickstart our monthly meetup sessions, which have been running since February this year. Each session brings together an established headline guest with community members who are just starting out and everybody in between, creating a space to share knowledge, solutions and tips for success.
I really enjoyed when we actually got the meetups up and running. Until we actually started them, it felt a bit abstract. And I was like, are we actually going to do it? And then we did the Slough one. And I was like, oh, we're doing it. And then when we got all those sign-ups, I was like, that is so cool. Like, for the first one, that's really cool.
We touch on so many different things, and we have such a big amount of people that come like every month. There's something for everyone. So like, even if one month we're doing something, it's always something different, the next month. Each one teaches you different things. It's interesting, like all the people you get to meet and being able to find out about all the different stages that people are at. Like, I think the networking parts are really interesting because you just hear from a lot of different people. Visual impairment is like a spectrum. No visual impairment is the same. Like, you can't put everyone into one category or into one label because it doesn't work, because people use things differently. And that's, the same with music or audio engineering or being creative.
I like the one that we did with Joanne. I think because she's a vocalist and I'm a vocalist, and I was like, ooh, interesting. Hearing her views on opera and why she sings opera, and it made me think, oh, I get it now. I get why people do it.
These events really evidence a strong starting point for Sound Without Sight to grow into a thriving community that showcases the work of blind and partially sighted creatives and also demonstrates new accessible technology. Here's a sneak peek at this month's meetup, a live demo of using MuseScore Studio with a screen reader, presented by James Bowden.
If I press space, it'll play from the beginning.
Space.
Okay,
Space.
there it is. I want the third movement, and I know that starts at about bar 176. I could just listen to the whole thing. I could cursor right through the whole lot, even control cursor right to move through by bars. I'm actually going to use the find go-to command, which is control F.
Find/go-to.
And just type the bar number 176.
176.
And press enter. And if I hit space,
through the meetups and our online forums, the project aims to develop a supportive environment for blind and partially sighted musicians to learn from their peers and develop confidently, whether that be during education, into employment, or for leisure.
It's nice to have a community that's like full of people that are in a similar boat to you, but also love music. I think that's really important in the industry, actually. Having that connection is crucial because everyone knows somebody who knows somebody who knows someone. And that can get you quite far. We've got like meetings every month now, and they appeal to like a whole range of people. And we've managed to establish a really good community, both kind of aspiring creatives and people that have been in the field for longer. And I think that's really important.
Connecting with other people. I think that's invaluable in the music industry or in the creative industries as a whole. Like, it's a weird industry, isn't it? Because to get anywhere, you need that network, you need that connection.
Mm-hmm. That community is the power of music, really, isn't it? It's like music means a million different things to different people, but the common thread is that it makes people feel something. Mm-hmm. And everyone is united in that. I think advocacy, awareness and representation are really important in this space, so I'm super proud to have presented the project at several key music conferences, including the Audio Developer Conference, Brighton Music Conference, and even leading a session at the world-famous NAMM show in California. Here, Sarah and Zenny talk about their time at Fast Forward Music Conference, Access to Music Conference, and the Drake Music Artist Showcase event.
I really, really enjoyed going to the conferences that we went to. It was interesting to learn about all the different types of people and how they access music and all the different behind the scenes stuff in music. Like, I don't really think about tech and music, for example, or like ticketing platforms, but like going to like those conferences really kind of opens your eyes and you learn a lot.
I really liked Fast Forward. What I found really interesting is that it did have a lot of mainstream speakers, as well as people with disabilities talking. So it was a mix. Because it's kind of like when we talk about accessibility, I think that's great, but it's always the same people that are already doing this stuff.
So I think a big part of what Sound Without Sight does well as a project, and what I really enjoyed you guys getting involved with as well, was that reaching out and propagating what we do to mainstream audiences who might not typically know what we do.
Oh, I really liked the Drake Music Showcase. I'm so glad that I went in person because I liked the performances. I liked that they built access awareness into the programme. So it felt quite seamless and it didn't feel awkward. It was just part of what was being discussed. I think they put it together like really nicely and kind of made me think like, oh, there's no reason why there can't be more events that do things this way.
I wanted to express a special thank you to the team at TAVIP for hosting the project and offering it an organisational structure that has allowed us to develop and carry out our work so far. Also, RNIB's Elizabeth Eaglebott Memorial Fund for allowing us to build the project to this point. We hope to continue to build relationships as we grow, and next week we're co-leading 2 roundtable discussions with organisations from across the sight loss and arts sectors and the music industry. These are focused on further developing our work with young people, ensuring that we amplify the voice of young visually impaired music makers, and making everything that we do more sustainable and less reliant on volunteers. We hope that we can form part of a cross-industry community platform with buy-in from across the sector. We look forward to sharing more about the outcomes of these conversations soon, as well as developing our connection to music technology manufacturers. If you're a visually impaired musician or audio engineer, why not share some solutions that you found on our Knowledge Hub? You can learn more about the project, sign up to our mailing list, or register for a future meetup at soundwithoutsight.org. The music you're listening to was kindly contributed by community member Mackie Jones of MapleMixProductions.com. You also heard music from Andre Louis. You can hear more at onj.me.